There is an invisible price tag on your hand. It is paid with every notification, with every infinite scroll. It is the theft of your own sufficiency. The internet promised us connection, knowledge, and convenience. But what it secretly delivered was an insatiable hunger, a constant digital craving that is quietly corroding our well-being and stealing our joy. This video is the roadmap for you to escape this illusion of infinite accumulation and find a life of true fulfillment beyond the screen. I'm talking here about spirituality, self-knowledge, and the awakening of consciousness to the sufficiency that already exists within you. We live in a temple of data, yet we feel more empty. The digital world, with its endless feeds and pulsating notifications, has created a language, the language of lack. It whispers that you are incomplete right now, that inner transformation is just a click, a purchase, or one more like away. Validating the pain, perhaps you feel a silent tiredness, a kind of soul exhaustion, even without having done anything physical. You scroll the screen searching for something you don't even know what it is, and deep down, all you find is the feeling of inadequacy. You are not broken. You are in transition, trapped in a vicious cycle of searching that the machine itself created. Presence has been traded for performance. Inner silence for the constant noise of comparisons. It is time to relearn the language of sufficiency. As the Persian poet Rumi reminds us, you wander from room to room searching for the necklace that is already around your neck. This journey is not about disconnecting from the world, but about a spiritual awakening to what is real. Let's go together. The search for more is not a character flaw, but a reflection of how our brain has been subtly trained. The race for instant gratification has become a conditioned reflex. Social media and algorithmic feeds act as stern masters, teaching our neural centers to crave the constant input of information and the quick reward. Each notification is a small dopamine hit, a fleeting pleasure that pulls us back into the cycle. The seed that blooms in the dark needs stillness. Our soul needs silence, but the machine offers us aspirational noise, the keeping up with the Kardashians effect in the digital age. We see carefully constructed lifestyles and an unreal perfection that feeds our subconscious feeling that, as we are not doing enough. What if the true hunger you feel is not for more content, but for more presence in your own life? The Tao teaches us the path of Wu Wei, effortless action. When we stop forcing the incessant search, the river of wisdom begins to flow on its own. Emotional healing begins when you recognize that incessant desire is a cycle, not a destination. Where does this cycle lead us? To the second trap of the modern mind, the illusion of achievement. And so, we fall into the second trap, the mirage of digital achievement. We seek fleeting victories, likes, followers, virtual items that give us a brief rush of satisfaction. But that satisfaction is temporary. As the Hermetic aphorism says, as above, so below. But in the digital world, what looks big on the screen is small in the life of the soul. We enter the phenomenon of digital hedonic adaptation. What seemed incredible yesterday, the content that fascinated us, is just the normal today. We need increasingly larger doses of stimulus to feel the same. The result is the more is better fallacy applied to data, an infinity of articles and videos that create overload, not wisdom. Self-knowledge is the mirror that reflects your spiritual truth. What the screen reflects is, often, just the shadow of external desire. It's not about having more data, but about having more clarity. The digital void is the opposite of the fertile emptiness that meditation reveals to us. To exit the mirage, we need to relearn how to stop fighting what hurts and start listening to what inner silence has to say. The first act of revolution on the inner path is the recovery of your attention. Attention is the most valuable currency of your awakening consciousness. Breaking the cycle requires conscious consumption. It's not about banning technology, but about intentional engagement with digital platforms. It is as Stoicism teaches us about the difference between what we can and what we cannot control. You don't control the algorithm, but you control your time and your intention when interacting with it. This manifests in practices such as the digital detox, short-term breaks that promote long-term clarity. Like water that settles to reveal the river bottom, our mind needs periods of stillness. Organizing the environment, unfollowing, unsubscribing, and detoxing your feeds to achieve inner peace. What you feed your eyes and ears feeds your soul. Gibran Khalil Gibran, with his depth, reminds us that your daily life is your temple and your religion. When you enter into it, take with you your all. If you carry the thirst for more into your day, your temple will be in eternal reconstruction. If your attention is your light, where have you been lighting it? The recovery of your attention is just the doorway. But what awaits your soul when you step onto this side, into the world that exists beyond the screen? Real inner transformation begins when we turn to the analog world, to experiences that the screen cannot replicate. True satisfaction is not in virtual accumulation, but in the joy of experiences, rediscovering hobbies, nature, and in-person connection. Contact with nature is the reconnection with the living expression of the sacred. It teaches us about natural rhythm, patience, and the beauty of present sufficiency. The main point is to cultivate gratitude in a world of endless comparisons, shifting the focus to what you have, your breath, your present, your being, and not what you lack. The frequency of gratitude rewrites inner reality. I suggest listening to the soul through kindness with the now. Sit for a minute and just observe what is around you. A light, a smell, the weight of your body in the chair. No judgment, just presence. This is defining your own success, moving away from externally imposed metrics of value. The next step is not escape, but architecture. It is the invitation to become conscious gardeners, designing a future of sufficiency. Designing a life of sufficiency is an act of spiritual awakening. It is setting ethical boundaries with technology. This means time limits, managing notifications, and creating designated screen-free zones. Clear intention, using digital tools for genuine connection and learning instead of passive consumption. Alan Watts, with his Eastern wisdom, said, "The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance." The digital world is a reality, but our dance must be guided by our inner path, not by the machine's frantic pace. True reconnection happens in the continuous journey of self-knowledge, regularly evaluating your digital habits and their impact on your well-being. It is not a fight, but a realignment. It is remembering that emptiness is not absence. It is the womb of the invisible. The myth of more is the illusion that completeness will come from external accumulation. The truth is that the silent wisdom of your being is already enough. Detachment is not about not having, but about not being possessed by what you have. I invite you to close your eyes and inhale deeply. As you exhale, release the need for more. Imagine that you are the vessel that becomes useful not for what it contains, but for the empty space it carries. That absence is the noise-free presence of your living soul. What if the freedom you seek so much were, in fact, in less than what you already have? What if sufficiency is the gateway to the peace you have always sought? Remain in that silence for an instant. If something within you has calmed or awakened upon hearing these words, allow yourself to continue. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to walk with us on this road of fertile silence, discoveries, and reconnection. Leave your experience in the comments. Your sharing is also a seed of healing for other hearts. And if you are looking for a safe harbor to nourish this newly lit flame and find those who walk on the same frequency, Our community is the sanctuary where fertile silence is shared and deepened. And to continue expanding your sanctuary of clarity, we suggest the video in the card. May it be a breath, peace and light.